Hello and welcome to the weather updates. 10 o'clock, July 11th, 2022. Another nice day, folks. A lot of sun, just a few patchy clouds, and fairly comfortable. It's a couple of ticks warmer, but other than that, a couple of ticks warmer. I won't say that. A couple of ticks, meaning, ticks that bite you in the Pine Barrens. But a couple of degrees warmer than yesterday. Other than that, you can see this is what the sky looked like. Mostly clear skies today, and actually felt cooler than yesterday because there was more of a sea breeze. So let's go and look at our current conditions outside, and you will see those strong southerly south to southwesterly winds there, gust to 25 there at JFK. Now we got that strong southerlies now coming in. The dew points are up a little bit to around 60, so it's a little bit of humidity around today. Let's take a look and see what the day was like at Islip, because it was really nice. And it felt cooler than yesterday because we had a stronger sea breeze. So, yeah, it was in the low 80s, but then the strong southerly wind started, and the temperatures dropped into the 70s. And on the South Shore, it was even cooler than this. Yeah, very nice day all together today. So let's go take a look at the highs and the lows for the day. Starting off with the highs, and you'll see most of Long Island low to mid 80s, 83 probably in Mineola. But other than that, pretty much low 80s. Not that much warmer than yesterday because of that strong sea breeze. But look around us. You'll see there that as you go up into the Hudson Valley there, you got mid 80s, an upper 80s in Jersey, mid 80s in the city, upper 80s in Jersey. So it was definitely warmer in Jersey today. Again, that south wind off the land versus the water makes the difference. So let's go and look at the low temperatures now for the day. We'll go ahead and look at that. Got down to 51 at West Hampton. Everybody else was in the low 60s. And look at that, 49 at Miller Air Park, west of Toms River. So, yeah, some really good radiational cooling in the Pine Barrens. It was pretty cool overnight, that's for sure. But if you were on the South Shore today, I have a video. I'll show you where I was because I took a nice afternoon walk down in Blue Point by Quarry Beach. And it's a beautiful area by the water, and there's some pines there too. Well, that's of course the reason I went. So let's take a look and see what. So right now, Bayport is reading 72. So let's see what their day was like on the South Shore today. I do not believe it hit 84. That thermometer, definitely something wrong with that. You got to watch out with these thermometers. Sometimes they're not all that accurate. Let's try this one. People, they don't shade them properly when the sun hits them, so that's why 81. All right, so I believe that was around 8. No, I think that's a little warm too. It was in the 70s down there, right? I was down there, and it was in the 70s. Let's try this one here. Maybe this one will read it right. Again, that's why I don't like looking at these stations too much, because a lot of them are hit and miss. So you'll see, yeah, 74.5. That's more like it, only in the mid-70s. That's what it was down there when I got down there. So, at a nice, cool breeze. Very strong sea breeze today. But, of course, if you go inland, we'll go to the North Patchogue area. You'll see that much warmer as you go inland. Probably got into the low 80s there. Let's see. 80. All right, so it got to 80. So, 5 degrees warm, but not bad. Not bad at all. Considering it was probably warmer than that and more inland. But all in all, pretty nice day today. So, let's go and look at the Storm Prediction Center, and you'll see they've got us in a marginal risk for severe weather and a slight risk as you head into extreme northwestern New Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. So let's go and take a look at tomorrow's outlook. We're going to focus on tomorrow and the next day. I'm not going to go too much further than that in this weather update. So I'm not going to go over the same 5 days every time. I'll do that every other day. Or whatever, will go a little more extended. But looking at tomorrow, you'll see here's the high pressure, and you'll see we got the sun. This is what we have to watch out for. The scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon, probably around 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Very scattered in nature. It looks like the worst of it will be over Jersey because that's where it's going to be hotter. But you'll see here, we'll still have that slight chance of showers, and then as we get into Wednesday, we dry out. Well, actually still showing some very isolated showers, possibly an upper-level low feature, perhaps on Wednesday there. But other than that, not really big chances of rain here. Now, look at our dew point and wind flow here, and you'll see this will kind of tell the story. You see very strong south-southwest wind tomorrow. that means strong sea breeze for Long Island. But if you're in Jersey, it's going to be a lot hotter. That wind's going to be off the land. And the same thing goes for Hudson Valley and all the inland locations. So you'll see this front here coming through here. This is what it is. It's a front, but it's slow moving, another slow mover. And you can see what happens Wednesday. We're waiting for this front to just push through, and you can see it looks like it's just stalled right over us almost. Originally, it looked like Wednesday we were going to get into the drier air, but now, according to the HRRR, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So let's go and look at the temperatures for tomorrow, and you'll see what will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, you're going to see, look at how much hotter it's going to be in Jersey versus Long Island. So if you're in New Jersey, you're dealing with you're going to deal with low to mid 90s perhaps. But on Long Island, you're going to be dealing with mainly mid 80s, maybe some upper 80s on the North Shore, but probably no 90-degree reading for Long Island, all right? Because, again, that strong sea breeze will help. That's why the thunderstorm threat is going to be more over New Jersey than Long Island because of that difference. And now, as we head into Wednesday, you'll see a little less of a sea breeze influence. So you'll see, again, the 90s in Jersey, low to mid 90s, and then you'll see an area of low 90s on the northern half of Nassau County. Mineola probably will wind up hitting 90 on Wednesday. All right, so let's go look at some of the other models. We'll go to the GFS, and we'll show you what the GFS has. So you can see it's going to be similar. It kind of echoes what's going to happen. Here's Wednesday, all right? Now let's see what the GFS does. See, now there's a bit of a difference here. The GFS wants to bring more of the dry air in, whereas the HRRR is saying no. That's very interesting. We'll have to see. See, the HRRR is a little slow with that front. Now I'm wondering if the NAM, which I don't usually look at, is doing the same thing as the HRRR. Oh, then we got to roll this back here. 18Z NAM. Yes, it looks like it is. So there's a bit of a difference in the models here with this front. It's uncertain what's going to happen with it. I want to believe the GFS, obviously, but let's go to the NAM and look at the thunderstorm threat for tomorrow. All right, this is the 24 hours of the 0Z NAM here. So let's see if it gets us to the thunderstorms. Not quite. So it's much slower with the front. Doesn't even bring any thunderstorm activity in until later. That's the 0Z. So let me go to the 18Z run. And you can see a little bit of a V in the ice bars, but again, it's mostly over New Jersey where there's much more heat to fuel these storms. So very interesting to see. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think the best severe weather risk is going to be over New Jersey. I think Long Island would be very unlikely that we'll see any severe thunderstorm. There may be a thunderstorm, there may be a shower, but it doesn't really look like we're going to see that much at all out of this. And again, it's a very slow-moving front. So let's go to the RGM, and we'll go and look at the skies next. And I don't think we'll have as nice a skies tomorrow. However, the RGM is showing, again, fairly clear skies until we get toward the afternoon. That's when you'll see some of that cirrus and some of that cumulus buildup from the cold front. All right? And then as we head into Wednesday, we'll have some lingering clouds probably. And again, I know this front may wash up, so we'll have to see what happens. But probably, it'll be a mix of a partly sunny day probably. And again, it'll be pretty warm and could be humid if the HRRR is correct. Otherwise, maybe you can get some more drier air. Now, Thursday, we try to get some drier air, and it looks like on this RGM model, at least, it looks like a little less of the cloud buildup. But if we look at this is right. This is going to show the dew point. So let's go to another sky model here, FE3, which is the higher resolution GFS. And this is all I have out of that. I have to use the 12Z. You can see similar deal here, but you can see Wednesday, it just seems to want to get rid of the clouds for a little bit in the morning, and then we have a big cloud buildup in the afternoon. So, yeah, I don't see we're us getting the kind of nice skies we had, especially on Wednesday. But we may get it tomorrow in the early part of the day. But once we get this front kind of stuck over us, it's kind of just get kind of washed out over us, it looks like. So we could see a lot of cloud buildup from that. So definitely, before the storms, I think your sky is going to actually probably be nicer tomorrow than on Wednesday, at least from what I'm seeing on these models. But it all depends on how we can get how much of that dry air we can get in here. We can look at the NAM. And again, I got to look at the 18Z NAM. So this is the 18Z NAM. As you see, you start off mostly sunny, and then cloud buildup. And then for Wednesday, you could see more of a cloud buildup on Wednesday, for sure. So that's why I'm thinking tomorrow will probably be more sun before the storms approach. All right. But that's pretty much what it's looking like. And again, if we look at this frontier on the GFS, actually, you know what? I'm curious. Let me see what the FV3 has, and we'll wrap it up with the radar signature for tomorrow, and then we'll wrap it up. I have to go to the 12Z run, but let's go and look at this. So it gets to see what this, and again, it really is not really developing much of anything for Long Island. It's mostly New Jersey because that's where it's going to be hotter. But there is a V shape. So if you're in Jersey, I think you have a decent bet of getting some severe weather tomorrow. But you can see this front kind of like it's just not a really strong front. It sinks to the south. And again, this is the earlier GFS. So I'll have to see if we get dew point relief on Wednesday. That is uncertain. But one thing's for sure, it definitely will be avoiding the worst of the heat here on Long Island, at least for tomorrow. So we'll have a more extensive weather update for you tomorrow night. Have a good night, and thank you for watching.